Welcome to the back to the Choose Optimism podcast, brought to you by Optimist International. Today we have Nita Miller with us from the Junction City Breakfast Optimist Club. Nita, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for asking me to be here. Thank you.
Well, one of the things we talk about in this podcast is your Optimist story. Why don't you tell us a little bit how you got involved with the Optimist organization?
Excuse me. I got involved because my husband was the secretary of the organization for several years. And when I retired from Fort Riley Federal Civil Service, he asked me to come and sit on the meetings and see what I thought. So for several meetings, I thought it was very, very interesting. Each meeting had a different speaker from the community. And so I learned more than I did before. And then in 2021, I did join as a member. And then at that time, the president, who had been president for 4 years, informed the club that he and his wife were moving to Nebraska. And so, excuse me, the club had to look for a president. And so my husband said, why don't you go ahead and apply for it? And so I said, okay, I'll go ahead and see. I became president in 2022, and this is my 4th year as president of the club. I have learned a lot, and my husband and I both try to attend all the district meetings. We have tried to do new things in our club. 3 years ago, we found out that in the state of Kansas, before COVID, there were several junior opt clubs. After COVID, none of the clubs came back up. So 3 years ago, we did some research, found out what had to be done to charter a club. So we started a junior optimist club at St. Xavier's Catholic School. Then last November, we started with the approval of the Junction City School Board to start a junior optimist club at the high school. So we now have 2 junior optimists that we sponsor. This year, with our fundraising, we have decided to help other facets of our community that need help. And one of them being the Magdalene Project. It's 4 years old in our community, and it's serving families that need help, food, clothing, whatnot. And the Magdalene Project also serves a meal every Sunday for our homeless people. They come in and we serve food. And over there, we have vegetables from some of the farmers to donate fresh vegetables, and we have clothing, and they're welcome to have any of that. And then for financial help, we have donated 500 donations to the Magdalene Project. Another project which we started this past year is called Lift the Burden. And it's for USD 475. We have reduced and free lunches. And with the economy that it is right now, a lot of our families are having a difficult time paying for meals. Of course, the children that go to school, they are given the meals, but there is a tally sheet or whatever of how much is being charged to the meals against USD 475. Excuse me. We found out about this project because in the fall we have a new treasurer, Ardina, and she is also the finance officer for USD 475. She informed us about this and says, if you wanted to help our students this would be another way of helping them. So we gave them also a monetary donation to $500 this past year, and we have brought that bill down a little bit. We plan to help them again this year, along with, of course, the Madeline Project. Our club, oh, I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say, let's break down each of these projects and talk about it individually that your club does, because your club is the more of the traditional type of club. Let's start with the project that your club is really passionate about that they've been doing for the longest time.
Oh, wow, the longest time. Um, that would be very difficult. Um, we have 15 youth activities, and for the past several years, we have been giving each one of them $200 a year to help them. And I can give you, we help the Big Brothers and Big Sisters, the court appointed special advocate, which is also the Dorothy Bramlage Summer Reading Club, the Geary County Historical Site Hands on History, the Geary County Girls Softball, I Care, which is the intergenerational activities, the Junction City High School Band Orchestra, the Junction City High School Future Farmers of America, the Junction City Junior ROTC, the Junction City High School Vocal Music, the Junction City Little Theater Summer Program, Shop with the Cop, and United Way Stop the Bus. So we have been helping these 15 organizations as long as I have been there, but they've been helping those organizations a much longer time. So I couldn't tell you which one's the longest. Let's see. Besides helping those organizations, fundraisers, we also give 3 different scholarships. And we have the U. O'Brien Academic Scholarship, which is scholarship for a sophomore or junior who plans to be some type of a leader. And we're given their name from a high school counselor saying this sophomore has the potential to become a leader in his or her class and move on. So the scholarship is for that student to attend 1 week of training as a leader at Kansas State University, which is in Manhattan, Kansas. Another one is the Junction City Breakfast Optimist Scholarship. Last year it was $600. This year we are bringing it up to $1,000 because of the cost of college. We're trying to help our student, but this scholarship goes to a senior who plans to attend a VOTEC school, not a 4-year college. A lot of our seniors that are planning to go to a 4-year college, they have the opportunity to get all kinds of scholarships. And the VOTEC do not offer scholarships. It's up to the parents to try and finance a VOTEC school. We have done this for the past 3 years, and for the past 3 years, each of those seniors have come back and told us they had finished the mechanic school, the cosmetologist, and a mechanic school, and what they plan to do now that they've got their certificate. And it feels like what we were doing for that scholarship, it's helped them. And then our third scholarship is the Junction City Community Band. We have a community band here in Junction City that performs every Sunday, month of June, and it's our citizens here, and quite a few of them are our students. They come and practice and perform for the community for those free concerts. So this scholarship is for one of those band students who would like to attend summer camp, and we pay for that, $200 for that.
So your club is very involved in the community, which is awesome. What are some of the ways you guys fundraise to pay for all these projects?
Um, our main one right now, and has been for several years, is we do a fundraiser every quarter, which is once a quarter, to the Junction City Barbecue and Grill. They give us 10% of everything that is sold from the time that they're open at 11 o'clock in the morning until they're closing. And during that fundraising day, we also put out a donation jar. And we have several of our members come to the Junction City Barbecue during 11 to 1 and 5 to 7:30. And our members pass out a flyer. This is a flyer that made out, and it explains what we do with the money that we have fundraised. And so we get the donation jar and also the Junction City Barbecue. So we do that for, 4 times a year. Last fall, we started a new type of fundraiser. The American Legion here offered us to have breakfast there. And in fact, we're having one this Saturday at the American Legion from 7 to 10. And we sold tickets in advance. And then we will sell tickets at the door. The American Legion people, they buy the stuff that is needed to prepare for the breakfast, and they cook the breakfast. And we help serve. We have the junior ROTC cadets come and help us by serving and help wipe the tables, serve the drinks. And we also have the junior optimists from the high school come and help serve. So we try to get both of our junior optimists involved with fundraisers. And besides that, we also got, for the first time last September, we went to one of our restaurants here in Junction City called the Blue Restaurant. And from 6 to 8 o'clock in the evening on a certain day that she gave us, we get 20% the food sales. Plus we put out our donation jar. So that's how we do our fundraisers.
That's a very interesting way to do fundraising. It's nice to partner with different restaurants in the community.
We have, yes, they come and help us. I need to also give credit to the Junction City Barbecue Bar and Grill for the last several years when they got our sponsorship. They also give us 9 $25 gift certificates to give to our Student of the Month. We recognize in our club meetings during this year a student from the Junction City High School and a student once a quarter from the St. Xavier's Catholic School. So he gives us 9 for the high school and 3 for St. Xavier's. I make out a certificate to recognize those students that they are a Student of the Month. We invite the parents and their siblings to that meeting when we recognize them and invite them for our breakfast and for our meeting. My husband is the secretary and program chairperson. He writes out a news article about the meeting and about the student, takes a picture, sends the picture into the Junction City Union to be published, and then also to the JC Post, which is the what do you call that? Oh, so yeah, it's online news about our town. Yeah, it's called JC Post. So we get quite a bit of publicity every week. We meet every Wednesday morning, and we meet at Hampton Inn in Junction City, 6:30 for breakfast, 7:50 for our meeting, and it lasts no later than 7:30, since we do have members that are still working. And of course, we have members that are retired. Um, the Hampton Inn has been very, very nice to us. The meeting room that we meet in every week has no charge on us. They have never given us charge, and they offer coffee and tea and all that, and also offer our guests, if they wanted a buffet breakfast, they can, as our guests, to eat breakfast over there. So,
Is there a project that the club focuses on the most? It's kind of like your top tier program that you guys do.
to program. Um, our meetings, for the past year, after we have a new member, last year, James Russell, he's a high tech person. He suggested that we videotape our meeting, which he does. He brings his camera, we videotape it, and then after our meeting, I download it, and put it on my Facebook, on the Junction City Breakfast Optimist Facebook, and on YouTube, so it's out in public. Um, our public knows who our guests are, and they are interested. The one that we had last week was the Mr. Kyla. He was the Kansas State and Gary County extension officer. He explained about the extension office and what his duties are and what's available for the citizens in Junction City area. And we had like 311 views for just that one meeting. So I do know people are watching us. We have gotten comments about our picture being in the paper every week. Sometimes I get stopped and say, "Oh, you're the one that's in the picture all the time," because every week we have after the speaker, we always make sure we have a photograph of the speaker with the representative of our club. So they know that we're doing things in our community.
Is there a certain project that your club is most passionate about that's kind of the one that they focus the most on in your club?
Um, let's see, most active about. Um, I think that one of them being uh, is stuff the bus. At the beginning of the school year, um, there is a large school bus, and we put it in two different parts of town, one at Walmart and one at Dillon's food store. And we have our club members hand out a list of school items that the stuff the bus you could use to stuff the bus with, pencil, paper, books, whatever. And we asked if they would, bring it back, and we would put it in one of the shopping carts. And after the day, all that stuff is put in the stuff the bus and is taken to all the different schools in the USD 475 to help with students that do not have those school supplies to begin school year.
That's a really interesting fundraiser that I'm really intrigued about, because that sounds like a pretty cool thing to see. I hope you fill the buses very full.
It is. The community are very, very helpful. There's another one that's called Shop with the Cop that we are involved with. Our police department know that there are several children who parents cannot afford to get anything for their children for Christmas time. So we give a monetary donation, and the police department receives a list from the school as to which family need help and they invite the students. And one of our churches here in town invite the children and the police officers to their church, and they give them a very, very big breakfast. And then after breakfast, the police officer takes the children to the Walmart, the large Walmart that we have here, and give them so much money that they can spend on gifts. And they help the children uh, fill their cart, and it's all paid for by all donations around. So, majority of the time, you can tell that the one child would buy gifts for his siblings and then his friends.
How many kids participate in that program?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's over 100 students as children, small children. Yeah.
100 students a year? Wow, that is
Yes,
very impressive. I that helps a lot of families in the community.
it does. Yes.
When you guys are fundraising, what does a typical fundraiser bring in for you guys?
Uh, our donation jar goes for about $200 to $300, and then the 10% from the JC Barbecue Bar and Grill, we get a check, what, 300 or 400, usually $400. So it's about $600 or $700 for our fundraisers. Um, Now, this Saturday, we'll find out how much we'll make, because we do know that we will have to pay the American Legion $600 for the food that they had purchased to prepare for the breakfast. And then everything else comes back to us. And our main reason for that fundraiser this Saturday is to pay for the $1,000 scholarship that we are giving to a senior in May.
Let's talk about that scholarship program for a minute. So it's specifically for VOTEC schools, you said?
Yes, sir, VOTEC. Um, we have learned that the VOTEC school, the cost for it is quite high. And it's a lot higher than some people would think for a school that's only 18 months or 24 months, and they get a certificate. The first student that we helped out with, he wanted to become a mechanic. And he said, once I get my certificate, I'm coming back to Junction City and hopefully open my own mechanics shop. The other student, she went to a VOTEC school in Manhattan to learn how to HVAC, I think it is. Yeah, HVAC. And she is still in school. So it should be pretty soon that she will have her certificate. We get a list from the person who's in charge of the scholarship program at the high school, and she knows which student will qualify for our particular scholarship. And then we decide who to give it to.
Well, this is a very interesting program because, people are now pushing the VOTEC since we do not have a lot of people in the trade. So this is a very unique scholarship that you guys are doing.
Thank you. Yes, we think it is too.
How many members in your club do you have in your club, and how many stay active with all the things you guys are doing?
Okay, we have 27 members. And I would say we have at least a dozen members that come to our weekly meetings, 10 to 12, and probably about that many who are active with us. We have members that are not able to attend the meetings, and the only way that they can help is like go to our fundraisers or give a donation whenever they can. But it is hard to recruit new members. One of them being is every time we try to recruit, it says, "What time do you start?" I said 6:30 in the morning. 6:30. They said that's too early. Well, it's just once a week, and so I said once you get started, it isn't so bad. And um, we have we call a board meeting on the second Wednesday of each month. Then the other meetings we have guest speakers.
So, who sets up your guest speakers for your club? Do you have a program chair, or do you do all that as well as the president?
No, my husband is the secretary and he is the program chair. He has been doing that before I became president, even before I joined the club.
Advice would you give for a club that's listening to this podcast if they want to do that Stuff the Bus fundraiser or the scholarship program? What advice would you have for them to get these projects started?
Uh, I would advise them to, you know, living in our community for a long time, and my husband being a retired school administrator, but he was a teacher also, and worked his way up. We we know what our community needed, and being close to the community, we do a lot of volunteer work. Um, we know that if we help our youth right now, they're going to eventually be our leaders.
You're a very active club, and what would advice would you give to people that say we can't do that because we're so small? Because your club is about a medium-sized club, but what would you say to that person that says our club is not going to be active anymore? We don't have enough volunteers.
I would suggest that they have programs that they can work with. When we started having speakers, we learned more about our community that way. We have our city commissioners come in. We have the mayor come in. We have the superintendent he is a member of our club because he wants to know what's going on too. And so we have retired teachers. Um, we have the junior ROTC. Um, the director is a lieutenant colonel retired, and he has always been very proactive student. And so whenever we ask help from him, like we participate in the 4th of July parade because our club said, let's do this. We want to participate in in the parade. And I said, okay. So I did the paperwork and we were accepted to participate in the parade. And so I asked the junior ROTC if they would come and support us by marching with us with the flags as the honor guard, which they do for the past 4 years. And so then we also asked our junior optimist to go with us so that our committee knows that we have the students with us and they're involved with what we're doing. We also have like the local police and the sheriff. They have come and talked to us. They talk to us of what's going on, the problems and things that they're working on. I don't know how would you do that with the great big cities, but we're a small town, and I think being able to reach out to our leaders to come and talk to us, we learn more. And I think other clubs do the same thing. I think the community say, "Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know they did that," And then if they said, "What can we do to help?" Well, Optimist is youth is our friend. We are their friend. So do something for the youth. Find out what organization needs help and talk to them. Say, do you need financial help? Do you need, and how can we help you? Have them come out to your to your group, talk to the group, explaining why they need help. And I think just moving in that direction, your club will get more people interested. Because I do know the last few of our members that I have attended to, have joined us. They joined us because they know we've seen your things in the paper. We've seen it here. You guys are really doing great things for our community. I want to be part of it. And so we got them.
Well, Nita, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking time to talk about your club, maybe share some ideas with other clubs and across the world that maybe might borrow some of your ideas. And it sounds like you have a very active club that is very, very good things in your community.
Can I just add one? Um, we had been in the honor club the last 3 years since I've been president, and with the help of my husband and working with what is required, we had to do the pride report. Each month when we do our board meeting, we ask every one of our members how many hours of volunteer hours they have put in for the past month. And we keep track of that. And then on our pride report, we show we did so many 2,000-3,000 hours a month combined of volunteer. Because all of our members, besides being a member of our club, they volunteer for other organizations in our community.
That sounds like a pretty
So,
good way to keep track of the stuff.
yes.
Well, like I said, we appreciate you having you on and sharing your club. And I hope somebody borrows your ideas and inspires them to do other things in their community.
Thank you.